be learning basics and how we will be planning diets, recipe planning. Okay, so this part will be covered over here. So today we will be starting with balanced diet. Then we will move further. I have also sent the PDF in your group of RDA table. Okay, come to page number 20. No, page number 30. Page number 30 और PDF का number 38. PDF का page number 38 and book का page number 30. Can you see the summary of the RDA table? Is everyone able to open it? Page number 38 of the PDF and of the book page number 30. So this is basically how your RDA table looks like. Okay? So whenever we are talking about the RDA, we generally look at this table. Now RDA is basically your recommended dietary allowances, right? So this RDA is fixed by the government, by the ICMR and NIN. What they do is they take a survey of a particular region, like India का survey किया, and out of that they estimated the amount of carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals a person has to take depending upon their age and their activity level. Okay. Now each and every person does not have the same height, weight, age, or the activity type. Okay. So whenever we plan a diet for someone, we plan it according to a person's actual requirements. That is customization. Okay. But this table is followed by the government agencies. This table is followed by the hospitals. This table is followed in community and public nutrition. But when we talk about the micronutrients, that is your vitamins and minerals, that we blindly follow the RDA. But for the macros, we prefer to do standard calculations for the person's requirement. Okay, so हम person की requirement को देखते हुए we customize the plan, personalize it, and then we give it. Otherwise, using the RDA table, we make a generalized plan that is given at the hospitals, and some companies do also do that. They have made a generalized plan for everyone, and they make certain changes and they give it to their clients. They also do this. Okay, so ऐसा आपका RDA table दिखाई देता है. This is how your RDA table looks like. Okay, so here we can see the category. That is the age category. Adult men, 18 years and above. We have the physical activity level, sedentary, moderate, and heavy. Then body weight बता दिया गया 65 and आपको प्रोटीन रिक्वायरमेंट बता दी है फॉर एन एडल्ट मेल दैट इज 54 grams. बट एक 65 kg का पर्सन 54 grams ऑफ प्रोटीन इज अबाउट 0.8 grams per kg पर बॉडी वेट. ठीक है, तो उन्होंने उस अकॉर्डिंग कैलकुलेट किया. वी कैन सी आफ्टर 54 इट्स रिटन 0.83 grams per kg पर बॉडी वेट. ठीक है, व्हिच इज अगेन अ लो प्रोटीन रिक्वायरमेंट. उन्होंने एवरेज प्रोटीन दे दिया है, एक एवरेज इंडिविजुअल को कितना प्रोटीन लेना है. ठीक है, बट इफ अ पर्सन इज लेट्स से 78 kgs, ठीक है, एक्टिविटी भी प्रॉपर कर रहा है, तो हम उनको आराम से वी कैन गिव हिम 80 85 90 grams of protein. ठीक है, so this is for a general population. This is a generalized can say the requirement of a person. Here look at. Okay, okay, so we'll start with balanced diet. Now according to you, what do you mean by the term balanced diet? What do you understand by balanced diet? क्या होती है? Okay, so basically a balanced diet is the one that will provide all the essential nutrients. Okay, so इसमें क्या होगा? You will get all the essential nutrients, that is the carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, mineral, water, as well as the fiber content. Okay, so but in right proportions. Okay, so each and every individual is required to have a significant amount of carbs, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Okay, so ये हम starting में when we were learning about macros and micros, there also we learned how much amount should be given, and in your RDA table also that is mentioned. Okay, so how much amount of the proteins, vitamins, fats, minerals should be given will determine that your diet was balanced or not. Okay, so requirement के according plan करना will give a balanced diet. Okay, now what a balanced diet will do? It will help to maintain the health, will help to support the growth. Okay? Repair of the tissue and the muscle, and it will also help to prevent disease. Okay? Now, I'm giving you two examples, two scenarios for a diet. You will tell me which is a balance and which is not. Okay? Morning. Okay, let's start with early morning. Morning, यानी कि आपका breakfast हो गया. Then mid morning snack, lunch, evening snack and dinner. Okay? Early morning, this is A and this is B. Now, early morning, a person is having coconut water plus soap seeds, soap and nuts. Then in breakfast, he's having कि आपके पास दो डाइट प्लान है. ठीक है, एक प्लान है अर्ली मॉर्निंग में दैट पर्सन इज हैविंग कोकोनट वाटर, सोप nuts. ब्रेकफास्ट में he's having overnight oats with 2 boiled egg whites. Mid morning में 1 bowl of papaya plus mixed seeds. Lunch dal roti plus seasonal vegetable and salad. Evening में roasted banana plus tea and dinner mixed vegetable with 2 chapatis and post dinner 1 glass of milk. Then the second diet plan is early morning warm water, breakfast poha plus tea, mid morning one orange, lunch rajma rice plus curd, evening snack tea plus biscuit, dinner with dal plus roti, and post dinner ice cream or custard. Okay. So which plan do you think is a balanced diet and why? With the reason you have to explain why is it balanced, which one of them, and why do you think that? We know that the A plan is more balanced than the B plan. But have you observed that this B plan is the plan which mostly the people consume? Yes, this is the most common plan followed by the Indian household. The one who's not taking a diet plan, they are consuming this. And they think poha and tea is healthy. हमने fruit भी खाया है, ठीक है? We are also taking protein, ठीक? And biscuits से तो कोई harm नहीं है. We are just taking only 1 or 2 biscuit, ठीक है? दाल रोटी भी खा ली, protein खा लिया. And ice cream तो dessert है, ये तो हमने 1 spoon लिया. So nuts and seeds नहीं है. Now this plan is more balanced. How this is more balanced? See, carbohydrates भी है. This is a staple diet. इसलिए ये नहीं बोला carbs तो बात ही नहीं बोले. This is a staple diet. This is the most common form of diet which is rich in carb and low biological value proteins. Okay, so this type of a diet plan is a very common plan which is followed by most of the households, the one who are not aware about nutrition or the one who have not taken a plan from a dietitian. Okay, so this is a more balanced plan. How? You all told it right. सबने सही बताया. Coconut water है rich in potassium, rich in electrolytes, antioxidants, and along with the nuts, so good fatty acids. Then overnight oats, soluble fiber. ठीक है. Then 2 boiled eggs. इसमें we can add nuts and seeds. We have 2 boiled egg whites, that is 100% absorption of the protein. Okay, then we have 1 bowl of papaya with mixed seeds. Now papaya is rich in vitamin A, which is a fat soluble vitamin. So if we are adding mixed seeds with it, so that mixed seeds are also rich in essential fatty acids. So they will help in the absorption of the vitamin A from the papaya. Okay, then dal hai, roti hai. ये protein है, but a low biological value protein, but I gave a high biological value protein here as well. If a person is having chicken, I got fish, I can give them chicken or fish over here. Okay, so dal roti है, seasonal vegetable है, salad. Now I could have added curd into it, but I did not because I gave dal roti. Okay, so calories would have been increased. Now in the evening part, I'm giving you roasted makhana, which is again a good source of protein, fiber, and calcium, along with tea. Okay, and mixed vegetable दी है, 2 chapatis दिए हैं. रात में we don't give salads too much. Okay, and we can give them sorted vegetables or steamed vegetables as well. यहाँ पे हम moving food कर सकते हैं. I'm giving a glass of milk. Okay, this is just a basic plan, but when we give a plan to a your client, we generally specify which type of milk I am giving here. Okay, I will specify which vegetables to add or how to make it. Okay, I will also specify the type of tea. Okay, this was just a general plan which I wanted to discuss it with you. But when we are giving a plan to a customer, we generally explain each and everything. Which mixed seeds will be here. Okay, which all ingredients do I need to add in overnight oats. Okay, and which soaked nuts are given. So we generally explain it to them, we write it down, and we teach you how to do it. Okay, but this is how your balanced diet actually looks like. It has all the vitamins, all the minerals, fiber, carbohydrates, protein, and essential fatty acids, and it will provide adequate amount of calories without any excess. Okay, यानी कि excess calories नहीं जाएंगी. Here we know this is a calorie dense meal. ठीक है, यहाँ से कैलोरीज ज्यादा है, यहाँ पे कैलोरीज empty calories are more over here, but there are no empty calories in this plan. ठीक है, so we have avoided empty calories. This is an empty calorie, this is empty calorie. ठीक है, then we have biscuits empty calorie, ice cream and custard are empty calories. Next we have is RDA. RDA is the recommended dietary allowance. Okay, RDA is the recommended dietary allowance. Now RDA की definition भी हम पहले कर चुके हैं. It is the average daily dietary intake. That is the level which is significant or sufficient to meet the nutritional requirements of all the healthy individuals. Okay, of a particular age, gender, and physiological group. Now, what is a physiological group? Now, confirmation physiological status sleeping. Status. Okay, it means if a person is pregnant, lactating, okay, if he or she is elderly, infant, ठीक है, या चिल्ड्रन में, एडल्ट्स को छोड़कर हम वल्नरेबल ग्रुप्स को हमेशा मेंशन करते हैं, ठीक है, और सफरिंग फ्रॉम एनी इलनेस. So these are basically the vulnerable groups. So we always make sure to write down the physiological status and to know the physiological status. Okay, so ये उन सबको देखते हुए RDA बनाया गया था. तो RDA is the average daily dietary intake level that is sufficient to meet the nutritional requirement. Okay, so एक average daily intake है जितना हमें required होता है to meet the nutritional requirement of an individual, and these are based on the age of the person, his or her gender, and the physiological group or the physiological status to which they belong. Okay, so basis of RDA क्या क्या होते हैं? सबसे पहले we see the age. So age will be, it can be infants, elderly, children. ठीक है? Then हम उनका gender check करते हैं, that is male and female, and the physiological needs. Okay, physiological needs when we check whether the person was pregnant, lactating, and illness, along with the activity level. Now, activity level is divided into three parts. We have a sedentary activity, moderate activity, or heavy work. Most of the people that we encounter are living a sedentary lifestyle. Okay, now I'll give you an example of a sedentary lifestyle. Let's say a person is an engineer or a teacher, or you can say a lawyer. Okay, is or even a chef. Okay. Now, the people who tend to have a lower physical activity level are said to become under the category of sedentary lifestyle. ठीक है, यानी कि sitting job ज़्यादा है, desk job है, और they are just standing. There is no too much amount of movement. Even if a person, let's say, comes to you and says, I go to gym for 1 hour, okay, and my rest of the day is sedentary. Okay, I go to gym for 6 to 7 in the morning, and after that I get ready for my office and I'm doing a desk job. Okay, so that person will also fall under the category of sedentary lifestyle. Okay, because 1 hour exercise, they are not doing too much amount of workout throughout the day. If they are preferring to take stairs, or if they come and go to their office via a cycle, okay, then we will add them into the moderate category. Okay, so they are doing exercise, or 2 times a day they are doing exercise. Morning gym, evening gym. Okay, too much amount of workout. That person will come into the category of moderate. Otherwise, only 1 hour of exercise, light exercise, walking, they all fall into the category of sedentary lifestyle. So most of the housewives, businessmen, politicians, teachers, ये सबके सब they fall under the category of sedentary. The government officials as well. Okay. Moderate workers are the ones, जैसे कि हमारी housewife, they come under the category of moderate workers. They are doing that household work of different houses in the morning, यानी कि they're sitting and mopping the floor. That is an activity that requires strength. Okay. Then they are going at their place, doing the household work there as well. Okay. They're not sitting for a longer period of time. They're continuously walking. Either they travel by a walk or by a cycle, or they are doing the manual work. They come under the category of moderate workers. Okay. And then heavy worker कौन होगा? Heavy worker will be the one who is your so my labor role. The one who is picking up too much amount of weight and travel. Okay, या फिर the one who are bodybuilders, weightlifters, athletes, they will come under the category of heavy worker or moderate. Okay, because their calorie requirements are. So one who's a sprinter, an athlete, a wrestler, cricketer, naturally these are the people who do exercise. They go to the gym, they train, and then they are doing their workout. So naturally their requirements are more. Okay, they're an average individual. So आपके moderate and heavy workers. So most of the clients you will be getting are your sedentary. But if you go into sports nutrition, then you will be encountering with the people from moderate and heavy lifestyle. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So now, if I talk about the physiological status and this RDA thing, now example मैं अगर दूँ तो an adult जिसको energy चाहिए, like adult की जो energy होगी for an adult women, let's say it's for 1900 to 2100 kilocalories per day, according to the RDA. Okay, adult men के लिए 2300 to 2500 kilocalories per day. Then again, the protein requirement will be 1 grams per kg per body weight, and iron will be 21 to 23 mg per day for women and 17 mg per day for men. ठीक है, so normal protein categories भी मैंने आपको उस दिन बताई थी. Protein अगर हम we give 0.8 in case of illness, in case of low protein diet. ठीक है, 1 gram for normal and 1.8 grams for high. Now, when you are planning a diet, this range can vary. Okay, we can even give from 1 to 1.8 range. You can give 1.2, you can give 1.5, you can give 1.6. It's up to you. That is customization. Okay, there is no standard fixed rule book that you have to give only 1.2 grams per day or 1 gram or something like that. If a person is falling into the sedentary category or moderate, then you can give him 1.6 grams per day. Okay, or 1.5, 1.2, depending on the activity level. Okay, if a simple lifestyle and only walking, a brisk walking, then you can give 1 grams of protein. If they are going to a gym, let's say, then you can give 1.2 to 1.5 grams per kg per day. Okay, so it's up to you how you wish to plan a diet. That is how customized diet plan is. Similarly for your energy and fats. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the purpose of IDA is basically to RDS. It guides the planning of planning the diet for individuals on a community level. ठीक है, group diets बनाने में ये help होता है, जिसमें group diets और fortification programs naturally if we see the requirement कि adult की कितनी requirement होगी for iron, ठीक है, and we see that a particular population is deficient in that, ठीक है, according to the survey, then the fortification is done in a firm to ensure that at least 2%, 3%, or 10% of the requirement is fulfilled of that person via one product when it is fortified. Okay, and for nutritional, national nutritional policies, यानी NNP policies होती हैं, उनके लिए भी RD tables are used to make certain policies. Clear? कहाँ use करते हैं RD table को? Next, we'll see the food exchange list. Food exchange list is the one which will help us to plan the diet. With practice, you will be able to learn it. Okay, otherwise, you can just refer to the exchange list. You can see the exchange list and make the plan for this. Now, exchange list basically helps in planning the diet or by grouping the foods with similar nutritional value. Okay, we group the foods which have a similar nutritional value, especially the energy, protein, fats, and carbohydrates, so they can be used. अब the exchange list कैसे होगी? I'll share the screen with you so that you will be able to see it. Just give me a minute. I'll share the notes screen with you. Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is the ICMR NIN approved food exchange list. Okay, over here you can see the food groups. We have cereals and grains, pulses, legumes, milk and dairy, low calorie vegetables, medium calorie vegetables, high calorie vegetables, fruits, fats and oils, and sugar. We have studied about food groups. पढ़ा है हमने? Before starting food science, we did food groups.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so NIN क्या है? It is the what is the full form of NIN? National Institute of Nutrition, Hyderabad.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
ठीक है, so इसमें exchange list में when you see, when I come to the exchange list, see. Now, first category is your cereals category. ठीक है, तो cereals में examples we have rice, roti and bread, any cereal. ठीक है, so here we can see that one exchange is of 30 grams. यानी कि one exchange, यानी that is your one portion. ठीक है, तो when you make a chapati generally it is of one that peda you take, ठीक है, जो आप वो ball use करते हो that wheat that is of 30 grams. ठीक है, that one chapati is of 30 grams, so it will give you 100 kilocalories, 2 grams of protein, 0.5 grams of fat and 20 grams of carbohydrates. आया समझ में? ठीक है, just see the cereal part. Cereals में, wait, I'll switch on my camera.
Is this cooked value or raw food value?
Huh?
Is this a cooked value or raw food value?
See, when you look at the exchange list, ना cereal का जो one exchange होता है, it is of 30 grams. It means one chapati is of your 30 grams. Or you can say one exchange of rice is of 30 grams. One serving, सिर्फ cereal का, that is 30 grams. Okay, so when you are planning a diet for someone, what you will do is you can take 2 exchanges if you want to give 2 chapatis. Okay, before planning the diet, you should know how to plan a recipe. Okay, so balance diet का concept, food exchange list का concept सिखाने के बाद, I will be going towards the your recipe planning, so that you will be able to make a diet plan. Otherwise, you won't be able to. Okay, so one exchange is of 30 grams. So in 30 grams, we get 100 kilocalories. यानी कि आपकी एक रोटी में 1 chapati has 100 kilocalories. ठीक है? 2 grams of proteins in this. 2 grams इसमें protein है. ठीक? Then 0.5 grams of fat है and 20 grams of carbohydrates. This is one exchange. ठीक है? So हम जब मेन्यू प्लानिंग करते हैं ना, we make different kind of tables. We do not tell our client about this exchange. This is for us. ठीक है? This is for us to calculate the amount of calories we are giving them and how to make a plan. Okay, but we do not share this exchange list or tell our clients that I'm giving you 1 exchange, 2 exchange, 3 exchange. We never do that. Okay, so ये generally it is for us only. So cereals का 1 exchange यानी कि हम हमेशा 1 exchange की बात करते हैं. If we write 1 exchange, then the amount here is 30 grams for cereal. 1 exchange means 30 grams for cereals. ठीक है? Clear? So basically this is raw 30 grams. ठीक है? तो हम चाहे वो cooked form ले रहे हैं चाहे raw ले रहे हैं, when we are making a chapati, it is in raw form only. After cooking, naturally the quantity will vary. ठीक है? But when we are taking 1 exchange, we generally for 1 serving we take 1 exchange. Okay, if you're giving 2 chapatis to a person, you can take 2 exchanges of cereal. 3 chapatis, 3 exchanges of cereal. Okay, if you're giving rice to someone, let's say you're giving 1 exchange of rice, you can give 30 grams of rice to boil up, double up हो जाता है. And if a person has a larger diet or wants to have more number of calories, you can give them 2 exchanges of rice for bread as. Clear?
Ma'am, usually I have a doubt, ma'am, because if we take a sprout or a chickpeas, if we want to measure it 100 grams, does it mean the nutrition value is for a raw or before soaking or after soaking or after steaming it, ma'am? So how to measure those?
Okay, for that we generally take 30 grams raw because naturally the quantity will increase. Okay, so whenever we are planning a diet for someone, naturally we will give them in the raw form. Okay, if we're giving any vegetable, we are giving any cereal or pulse because after cooking it will increase. Okay, so that you will learn in recipe planning. Yeah, for raw form 30 grams you measure it with the measuring, your weight, measuring food measuring scale, and then you see after cooking how much the value has increased. Okay, so that is why the exchanges are of 30 grams, not 100 grams, because it will double up. Okay, the quantity to बढ़ेगी, naturally the water will enter into it and the quantity will increase. So this is for the raw. Okay, whenever because see, we are giving a plan to a person, but we actually don't know how that person will be able to make that plan, make that recipe. Okay, I am giving him 30 grams of chickpea salad. Okay, so मैंने 30 grams of chickpea उसमें डाले हैं, मैंने 20 grams of onion, 20 grams of tomatoes, 10 grams of coriander, 5 grams of let's say spices and everything into. Okay, now I have mentioned it. If the person is using that to make scale, then okay. Now, if a person is not doing that, then he or she might increase the or decrease the quantity. So this is for our basic calculation, how we do the calculation part and how we calculate the values. ठीक है, but in recipe planning this will be you will be able to learn more when you will be actually performing. When you will be making that recipe using your weighing scale at home, if you have it well and good, if you don't, it's better if you purchase for your practice. Okay, you can measure up and you can even notice and calculate the difference between the raw and the cooked form. So it will be very much easier for you to plan the diets for the future. Clear?
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Because I always wonder if I soak it or steam it, does it add a calories to it? Because that's the only concern. Okay.
It's only water na, that is going inside. How will it will increase the calories?
Okay, because that's what my long doubt.
Calories will be same. You're soaking it, so naturally all the anti-nutritional factors are coming out of it, and the water is getting inside it, so that it is softening. Okay, we even stood, studied it in our pulses chapter as well. That if you soak the pulses, the anti-nutrients are lost from them, and the water when it's added into that pulse, it will help to soften it and reduce the cooking, and it is easier to digest. Okay, so it won't be changing the calories in there.
Okay.
Okay. Any other doubt?
Ma'am, actually, I didn't get this part. Exchange, like exchange with what? If one chapati have 100 kilocalories, then why are we using the term like exchange?
Okay.
I didn't get it.
ठीक है, एक्सचेंज बेसिकली इसका नाम ही है फूड एक्सचेंज. ठीक है, इसका मतलब एक्सचेंज सिस्टम क्या है, ये हेल्प करता है हमें डाइट को प्लान करने में बाय ग्रुपिंग द फूड्स विद सिमिलर न्यूट्रिशन. यानी हमने ग्रुप्स को, फूड ग्रुप्स को हमने जोड़ दिया है व्हिच हैव अ सिमिलर न्यूट्रिशनल वैल्यू, दैट इज योर एनर्जी, प्रोटीन एंड फैट. इन्हें बोला ही ऐसे जाता है. यानी कि अगर एक सर्विंग को इन्होंने एक एक्सचेंज, ठीक है, सो वो एक्सचेंज एंड अमाउंट ये टर्म ही दिया गया है. ठीक है, तो यानी कि इफ आई एम गिविंग अ पर्सन let's say one chapati of 30 grams, so I'm giving him one exchange. ठीक है, मैं उसको बोला ही ऐसे जाता है. ठीक है, इसका साइंटिफिक टर्म ही यही बना. तो जब आप प्लान करते हो मेन्यू को, तब उसमें आपका एक्सचेंज टेबल बनता है. फिर आपका डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन टेबल बनेगा कि आपने पूरे दिन में एक्सचेंजेस कितने लिए, सो दैट यू विल बी एबल टू कैलकुलेट द अमाउंट. बिकॉज अगर अमाउंट को कैलकुलेट करने लग गए, 30 ऐड करने लग गए, सो इट विल बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू कैलकुलेट. एक्सचेंजेस कैलकुलेट करने इजी होते, 1 करके होते, 5 एक्सचेंज, 4 एक्सचेंज, 10 एक्सचेंज. अब वो 10 को into 30 करोगे बाद में, फिर 200 ग्राम या 300 ग्राम, समटाइम्स इट गेट्स कंफ्यूजिंग. ठीक है, तो उसको सिंपलीफाई कर.
ओके मैम.
ठीक है, बेसिकली आप ऐसे भी लिख सकते हो, 1 एक्सचेंज इज इक्वल टू पोर्शन. आप इसको पोर्शन भी बोल सकते हो, 1 पोर्शन. ठीक है, 1 एक्सचेंज मींस 1 पोर्शन. हम बोलते हैं पोर्शन कंट्रोल करो तो एक्सचेंजेस कंट्रोल करो. तो पोर्शन कंट्रोल यानी कि मैंने अमाउंट कम. ठीक है, सो यू कैन इवन राइट इट एज पोर्शन और एक्सचेंज, इट विल बी इजियर टू अंडरस्टैंड.
ओके.
क्लियर?
यस मैम.
एनी अदर डाउट? किसी और को कुछ समझ ना आया हो? हाँ जी, हरमन रक्षा.
नो मैम.
क्लियर.
ओके, ठीक है. नेक्स्ट है हमारे पास पल्सेस. ठीक है, तो सेकंड कैटेगरी आती है पल्सेस. अब पल्सेस में हम देखेंगे 1 एक्सचेंज और 1 पोर्शन इज ऑफ 30 ग्राम्स रॉ, दैट इज हाफ कप कुक. ठीक है, यानी कि 30 ग्राम्स जो रॉ है, इट मींस इट इज हाफ कप इन द कुक्ड फॉर्म. ठीक है, यहाँ आपको समझा दिया पल्सेस में लिख के. ठीक है, यानी कि इफ यू आर गिविंग 30 ग्राम्स ऑफ पल्स एक्सचेंज, इट मींस यू आर गिविंग हाफ अ कप ऑफ दाल और हाफ अ कप ऑफ चना और एनी अदर पल्स यू वांट टू. बट नेचुरली वाटर उसमें ऐड हो जाता है, वेजिटेबल्स ऐड होती है, तो द क्वांटिटी माइट. ठीक है, डिपेंड्स ऑन द कुकिंग मेथड. सो 30 grams is raw. So वो 30 grams के portion में you will get 100 calories, 7 grams of protein, 0.5 grams of fat and 17 grams of carbohydrates. ठीक है, so if we see pulses में 30 grams का एक portion, one exchange और one portion. ठीक है, 30 grams का, it means half cup cooked, यानी आधी कटोरी हो गई. So half a bowl cooked form. ठीक है, now this half cup can again vary. ठीक है, so it is up to us how we calculate using a food weighing scale. ठीक है, so half cup cook है, again you will add other ingredients, so naturally quantity might increase or decrease. Okay, so ये हो गया आपका one exchange, that is half one exchange or one portion is of 30 grams. So you will again get 100 kilocalories out of it. ठीक है, and then you will be getting 7 grams of protein, 0.5 grams of fat, and 17 grams of carbohydrates. आया समझ में? Okay. Next we have is milk. Now milk की इन्होंने one portion लिया 100 ml. ठीक है? So now see, if your portion size increases, naturally आपके exchanges बढ़ जाएंगे. If you are giving, let's say, 250 ml of milk to someone, your portion size will increase. ठीक है? So आपका portion size बढ़ जाएगा. So that portion size will be on. You can say you can exchange आपके यहाँ से 1 की जगह 1.5 exchange हो सकता है, 2 exchange हो सकते हैं, 2.5 exchange हो सकते हैं. ठीक है, इसका हाफ हो जाएगा 50 ml. इस पर आपने 2x पोर्शन दिए तो 200 ml ऑफ मिल्क हो जाएगा. तो नेचुरली ये सब वैल्यूज इंक्रीज हो जाती है. ठीक है, सो वन पोर्शन इज 100 ml इन द टेबल. सो वो 100 ml में कितनी कैलोरीज है? 65 कैलोरीज है मिल्क में, 3 ग्राम ऑफ प्रोटीन है, 3 ग्राम ऑफ फैट एंड 5 ग्राम्स ऑफ कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स. ठीक है, नाउ ये जो आपको एक्सचेंजेस दिए होते हैं, ये हर ब्रांड के एक्सचेंजेस नहीं. Okay. If we are talking about, if I'm giving yellow packet of milk, what if I'm giving him full fat milk, low fat milk, high fat milk? Naturally, the values will vary according to it. Okay. So that in that case, you have to refer to the approximate. ठीक है, तो आपको एक रेसिपी प्लानिंग के लिए I will be giving you another table, जिसमें आपसे ये एक्सचेंज टेबल से रेसिपी प्लान नहीं करनी होती है. प्लान अ रेसिपी using a approximate composition table. Over there, you look at the values in each and every seed. चाहे आप बाजरा से कोई डिश बना रहे हो, you are making oats से आप कोई डिश बना रहे हो, so आपको वहां से आप कैलकुलेट कर सकते हो पर डिश की कैलोरीज, प्रोटीन्स एंड फैट एंड एवरीथिंग. But this exchange table will simplify your diet plan. So instead of looking into each and every ingredient and calculating the calories of each dish, it's better to follow this table. ये टेबल से आपको जो वैल्यूज होती है, these are approximate values. ठीक है, तो वो 10-15 ऊपर नीचे होती है, बहुत ज्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं है. There is not too much amount of difference. ठीक है, तो ये स्टैंडर्ड बेसिक वैल्यूज होती है. So our diet planning becomes very easier when we follow this. ठीक है, and with experience, naturally, when you will be doing recipe calculation, when you will be doing making a diet plans, so with experience you will be able to make the plan very easily and very fast. आपको पता चल जाएगा. Okay, आपको कई बार डिश देखकर पता चल जाएगा how much amount of calories are present. ठीक है, now जैसे like I have an experience, so I can see a dish and I can tell that okay, this might be having 200-300 calories. Okay, because you know which cooking method is being used, you know how much amount of product will be. So I know that okay, I am having 1 cup of or half a plate of, I will be getting 250 calories out of it. If I'm having 150 ml of coffee, I will be getting, if I'm adding milk, which type of milk I am adding, if I'm adding sugar or not, again I will be able to calculate, just not even using pen and paper. I will get the the approx value of it might have 150 calories. Okay, so with that, I will be able to track my own calorie intake, and I'm also able to make the plans in minutes. Okay, I don't take a lot of time to do it because वो mind में आपको practice के साथ आ जाता है कि okay, if a person is having a piece of pastry, it means it has 250 to 300 calories in it, depending on the size. ठीक है, चना भटूरा खाया, it means आपके जो भटूरे हैं, 2 भटूरा is 500 calories and 250 to 300 calories are in your चना. So आपकी plate ये around 600 plus calories, 600-700 plus calories. तो इस तरीके से you just get an idea. ठीक है, तो आपको habit and practice से समझ आना शुरू हो जाता है. ठीक है, but it is not very difficult, it is very easy. जैसे आपको समझना है कि एक portion की बात हो रही है, one portion में talking about, that is 30 grams का एक portion है, so आपको कितनी कैलोरी देगा, कितना प्रोटीन, कितना फैट एंड कितना कार्बोहाइड्रेट. ठीक है, similarly for pulses, one portion is giving how much. So when you are planning a diet, it will be very easy. Clear? Okay. Now next we have is vegetable A category. It means low calorie vegetables. Now in vegetables में calories कम होती हैं. So one exchange is of 100 grams. So 25 calories we will be getting from one portion. That is from 100 grams, we will be getting 25 kilocalories, 1 gram of protein, 0.2 gram of fat, and 4 grams of carbohydrates. Okay, and for vegetable B, that is a moderate calorie vegetable. It will include your carrots, beans, cauliflowers, and different vegetables. I will be sharing you the list of both the category vegetables of A and B. Okay, so you can refer to that. So vegetable B is your 100 grams is one portion, that is one exchange. So उसमें आपको 100 grams में कितनी मिल जाएगी? 50 kilocalories you will be getting. 2 grams of protein, 0.5 grams of fat, and 10 grams of carbohydrates. Okay. For fruits, again, we take one exchange that is of 100 grams. We take approximate values because actually every fruit may vary differently. Some might be 70 grams, some might be 80 grams, some might be more than 100 grams. ठीक है, so एक approx value होती है one portion की, that is 100 grams. It will give you 40 to 60 kilocalories, 0.5 grams of protein, 0.1 gram of fat, and 10 grams of carbohydrates. ठीक है, then is your fats and oils. Again, fats and oils की fixed value होती है. 5 grams is your 1 teaspoon, यानी 1 spoon which you normally consume. That is of 45 kilocalories. So sugars, fats and oils तो ये आपको learn ही हो जाता है. ठीक है. So, fats and oils में 5 grams is of your one exchange, so you will get 45 kilocalories, no proteins, 5 grams of fat and 0 carbohydrates. Sugars भी 5 grams, that is 1 teaspoon, you will get 20 kilocalories, 0 protein, 0 fat, and 5 grams of carbohydrates. Okay, and for meat and egg, now this is about the egg which we are talking about. Meat might vary again, but egg का 70 kilocalories ही होती है egg में. Whether in boiled form or in your raw form, 70 calories ही इसमें present है. तो 30 grams का egg है, तो 70 kilocalories, 7 grams of protein, 5 grams of fat, and 0 carbohydrates. Clear? जब recipe planning करेंगे, you will be able to do it very easy. It's not difficult at all. तो जब करना शुरू करेंगे, I will even do it myself. Show you how to actually make a plan, and then you will be able to. Okay, so this was the food exchange list. So यानी one portion में कितनी amount of calories, proteins, fats, and carbohydrates हैं? This means your exchange. So इसमें different food groups available हैं. They are telling you about the portion size. ठीक है, how much will be the exchange on the portion. Then they are telling that how much amount of calories are present in it. जैसे कि आप एक नॉर्मल न्यूट्रिशनल टेबल देखते हो, ठीक है, एक पैकेट के पीछे आप देखते हो 100 ग्राम्स की आपको सारी न्यूट्रिशनल इंफॉर्मेशन मेंशन होती है. ठीक है, सो उसमें वो कैसे कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं? वो 100 ग्राम्स का बता रहे हैं आपको. ठीक है, अगर वो पैकेट आपका 60 ग्राम्स का, सो यू विल बी कैलकुलेटिंग राइट हाउ मच अमाउंट ऑफ कैलोरीज यू आर गेटिंग आउट ऑफ दैट 60 ग्राम्स ऑफ पैकेट. आपको 100 की वैल्यू दी है. ठीक है, यूनिटरी मेथड लगाओगे, बॉड मास यूज करोगे, यू विल बी एबल टू कैलकुलेट. ठीक है, सिमिलरली यही बात होती है. आपको बता दिया है कि आपका ये एक्सचेंज है, एक पोर्शन है. सो अब जब ये एक पोर्शन में से ज्यादा पोर्शन देते हो, सो योर कैलोरीज एंड एनर्जी प्रोटीन इट विल वेरी. ठीक है, क्लियर? नेक्स्ट वी हैव इज फूड पिरामिड. फूड पिरामिड के बारे में भी हमने ग्रुप्स में पढ़ा था. नाउ व्हाट इज अ फूड पिरामिड? क्या होता है फूड पिरामिड? Basically a visual guide to healthy eating. देखिए वो आपको एक विजुअली गाइड दे दिया गया है to tell you that okay, this much amount of cereals you have to take, then proteins, your pulses, vegetables and fruits. Then वो layers divide कर दिए जाते हैं. एक visual representation होता है of healthy eating. It basically shows how each group should be included in your daily diet. So we have to follow all the food groups. हमें सारे food groups include करने हैं in the right amount and in proper moderation. ये right amount में, right moderation में ही हम जो foods हैं वो recommend करते हैं daily diet. ठीक है, सबसे पहले आती है the base layer at the bottom. तो जो base layer और the bottom layer होती है, it is for cereals and grains. ठीक है, ये होती है आपके cereals and grains. Cereals and grains क्या करते हैं? They provide energy and carbohydrates, and this is the largest portion. ठीक है, तो हम पूरे दिन में cereals हम सबसे ज्यादा अमाउंट में खाते हैं. Naturally, हमने बैलेंस डाइट का प्लान भी देखा था. maximum amount was of cereals only. Okay, so we consume the largest portion of cereals. Second layer में जो आती है इसे हम second layer बोलते हैं. The second layer is of fruits and vegetables. Okay, so the second layer होती है ये fruits and vegetables की होती है. It supplies vitamins, minerals, fibers, antioxidants. Okay, we have to consume fruits and vegetables in more amount. Okay, so सबसे ज्यादा हम cereals consume करते हैं. After that, we should consume fruits and vegetables. Then there is the third layer. The third layer is for the protein-rich foods. Okay, so third layer में आते हैं हमारे protein-rich foods, that is pulses है, milk, meat. ठीक है, तो ये जितने भी हमारे high in protein foods होते हैं, they fall under the third category. Then we have the fourth layer. Fourth layer is of your fats, oils, and sugar. ठीक है, so आपकी fats and oils and sugars की layer आती है. They provide concentrated energy. ठीक है, तो इसे हमें कम अमाउंट में यूज करना होता है. तो अगर हम पिरामिड देखें भी, so this is your base layer, this is your second layer, first layer, second layer, this is the third layer, and this is the fourth layer. ठीक है, so ये pyramid basically encourage करेगा to consume variety of foods, to have a balanced diet and a diet that is in moderation. यानी कि each and every food group should be added according to the requirement and in moderation. ठीक है, तो हम किसी भी चीज को excess amount में increase नहीं कर सकते हैं, ना ही करना चाहिए. Clear? Food pyramid?
Yes, ma'am.
We have is planning diets. Now, how do we plan a diet? Now, while planning a balanced diet, we have to, follow certain principles. Now, first is your calorie requirement. Now, we need to make sure or match how much the energy expenditure was there. Then we have to give them the calories. ठीक है, हमें किसी भी क्लाइंट का पहले एनर्जी एक्सपेंडिचर देखना पड़ेगा कि हाउ मच अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी इज बीइंग यूटिलाइज्ड बाय द पर्सन. ठीक है, किस टाइप का लाइफस्टाइल है. So we have to first observe that, monitor that, calculate that, and then we have to keep the energy requirements. Then हम उस according उनका healthy body weight maintain करने के लिए then we give them the required amount of calories. Okay, so it must match the energy expenditure in order to maintain a healthy body weight. Okay, if a person let's say is burning 500 kilocalories a day, so उनकी energy requirements उस according उन्हें plan करनी पड़ेगी. We have to see how much amount of energy he is burning, then उनका height weight क्या है, तो हमें उनका total energy expenditure हम calculate करते हैं using a standardized formula. So we will be doing those formulas in the upcoming chapters. Okay. Then we have to make sure about the proportion of the nutrients. Nutrients में जैसे कि carbs, we get 55 to 60% of the total energy. Okay. Then proteins 10 to 15%, and fat is 20 to 30%. So this is the proportion of nutrients. Okay, so हम calorie requirements ध्यान में रखनी है. Then we also have to make sure that we are giving the macronutrients according to the proportion. Next, we have to ensure that there is a variety of the food. Okay, यानी कि food group में से food pyramid में से we have to make sure that we are giving the variety of foods in there. Okay, जैसे कि all food groups होने चाहिए. It should have cereals, it should have pulses, milk, then vegetables, fruits, fats. So ये सब के सब उसमें included होते बहुत ज़्यादा important. So variety होनी चाहिए. There is a meal prep. Now we have to divide our meals into 3 main meals and 2 to 3 small meals. Okay, तो हमारे 3 बड़े meals होते हैं, that is breakfast, lunch and dinner, and then we have is 2 to 3 small meals. It can be early morning, mid morning, evening snack, or it can be a mid morning and evening. So it's better to add early morning because it does not give you too much amount of calories, but it's better to start your day with a good amount of detox water and good quality detox water and nuts and seeds. Okay, so that they can align your digestive system, it can cleanse your digestive system, and your gut is also ready for your main meal. Okay, so वो 3 main meals होने बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है, but it is also important to add 2 to 3 small meals for better digestion process and not to put too much amount of load on the digestive tract. Okay, then comes your cultural and economic factors. Now, cultural and economic factors mean your diet should be planned according to a person's economic status and according to a person's cultural. Okay? For example, if I am living in north and if I get a person from eastern side of the country, okay? So I have to make sure that I am able to fulfill their cultural requirements as well. So I should know what type of dishes are made over there. I can ask the client directly, okay, what are the staple type of dishes that you consume? Or even I can do my own research. Because if I'm planning a diet according to my own region and my own lifestyle, then what's the point of giving a plan to a person from a different part of the world? He or she might not be getting those type of foods over there, or they don't even know how to make it. Okay, so it's better to know about the cultural preferences, the regional preferences, as well as their economic factors. How we will know the economic? Why is it important? Number one, if a person, let's say, comes to me from a middle income group and I suggest him or her the foods of a person of a higher income group category can purchase. Okay? For example, I'm telling them to have kiwi daily, have avocados daily, take quinoa, okay? Or they can have couscous. So yeah, different तरह के grains and these are expensive and ये easily be available. ठीक है, मैंने उन्हें वो लिख के बोल दिया. I have told them to have that, but they don't have the resource and the means to consume it. ठीक है, so who's at fault? I'm at fault. Then I will start telling them, you're not following my plan. How will he or she will be able to follow a plan if that plan is not fit according to their budget? Okay, now I can't directly ask them, okay, from which middle income group are you? I can't ask it. Okay, so what I will do? On my conversation, I can ask about the previous time. Then in my conversation, I can ask, okay, have you ever consumed these types of food? If they say yes, I will get to know they are from a high income group. If no, sometimes a high income group person might not be aware or might not consume it. Okay. Then also, how will I be able to get it? I can ask him or her to fill a dietary form for me where I will write the economic status. I will not directly ask them, they have to just write it down in a form. That is a better way of asking rather than asking on their face that, okay, what is your economic status? Okay. Then other way is you can ask their occupation, where they work, what are their work timings, what do they do? Okay. So from there also you can just get an idea. Okay. And again आप पूछ सकते हो, can you consume it? Do you consume it? Have you ever tried it? ठीक है, so आपको वहां से एक idea लग जाए. So it's just idea generated, or sometimes you can directly ask them in the form of a perform rather than asking them on their face. Okay. Then we have to also see the special needs of a person in their planning the diet. For example, the diet should be modified according to the age. अगर मेरे पास कोई बच्चा आता है, if a child is coming to me for a plan, then I have to make a plan according to his schedule, his timings. ठीक है, वो बच्चे ने स्कूल में जाना है, he has to get up in the morning, he will go to school, he will have tiffin, then he will have lunch, then he will have evening snack, then dinner, post dinner. ठीक है, then I have to plan it accordingly. If an elderly is coming to me for a diet plan, I have to see, okay, what are the sleep schedule kya hai, okay, at what time does he wake up, and how is his digestive tract? Okay, is he able to digest fibers? Because with age, digestive system tends to weaken. Okay, so we can't give them too many heavy foods. Okay, that will take a load on his or her gut. तो मुझे उसका ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा. If a pregnant woman is coming to me again, I have to make sure I'm fulfilling her requirements and the infant, the fetus requirements. Okay, and maintaining mother का भी ऐसी है. What food that your mother is consuming, that is directly that will directly go into the baby's body as athletes as well as in patients. So मेरे पास जितने भी vulnerable groups आते हैं, special groups आते हैं, I have to make sure that my plan is able to meet their requirements. Okay, so जब भी plan बनाना है, ये बहुत सारे points हैं जिनका plan आपको देना पड़ेगा. Okay. So किस का ध्यान दोगे? Calorie requirements, then the proportion of the nutrients that you are giving to the client. Food variety होनी चाहिए. There should be meal frequency. There should be cultural and economic factors that needs to be considered, as well as the special needs. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now there are certain dietary guidelines that need to be followed. So there are a lot of principles of healthy eating that need to be kept in mind. That is, a person or the one who is making a plan should add a variety of foods, or one should eat a variety of foods to ensure that all the nutrients are going into the person's body. इस चीज का ध्यान रखोगे. Then we have to maintain the balance between the energy intake and the energy expenditure. ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि expenditure ज्यादा है तो मेरी calories कम है, तो naturally the healthy weight will not be able to maintain. तो मुझे वो आना चाहिए करना. Then I have to prefer whole grain and fiber-rich foods instead of refined ones. So मेरा जो plan होना चाहिए, it should not always be, calorie focused. I'm again suggesting you again and again, don't run behind calories. That is important, but a quality menu plan is more important. Okay, if your menu plan is just focusing on the calorie and the numbers and it is not giving a quality nutrition to a person, then there is no use of following the plan and making it. Okay, the best thing you can give to a person is a quality plan. Calories you will be able to fulfill, but your main target should be a good quality plan, a plan which is balanced and will fulfill his or her complete requirements. Okay, तो इस चीज का हमेशा ध्यान रखना. Then at least 5 servings per day होनी चाहिए of seasonal fruits and vegetables. ठीक है? So fruits and vegetables की at least 5 servings होनी चाहिए throughout your day, ताकि fiber intake बढ़ाया जा सके, vitamins and minerals can be given to us. Okay? Then you have to include adequate amount of milk or milk products or any other calcium sources. Okay? I would not say give them milk. It's better if you give them plant-based milk. Milk sources are basically good quality probiotics and proteins, and you can give them calcium sources. Okay? तो वो भी use करेंगे. Then you can use moderate amount of fats. Okay? Prefer करने हैं healthy fats, plant-based fats prefer करने हैं. Limit the salt intake. 5 grams से ज़्यादा salt नहीं देना है in a day. Okay? Overeating avoid करनी है. 5 foods should be avoided. Processed and junk food should be avoided. Okay? Then the person should consume plenty amount of water. Again, you have to manage the amount of water intake depending on the condition of the person. Otherwise, 8 to 10 glasses, that is 2 to 2.5 liters of water per day should be consumed. Okay? Then avoid alcohol, smoking, and unhealthy habits. Whenever you are giving a diet plan, you always have to write do's and don'ts in the diet plan. Okay? What foods are allowed and what foods are not. Most of these students, what they do is they never write alcohol and smoking point, which is the most important point. What if I have not given you in the question that the person consumes alcohol? You have to give a general precaution. If he or she does it or not, you have to write it. Okay? You have to avoid alcohol, you have to avoid smoking and unhealthy eating habits. Okay? Then practice करना है safe food hygiene practices. It is very important to fulfill these safe food hygiene practices, and proper cooking methods should be used, like steaming, boiling, blanching, and any other method. And you have to specify it as grilled vegetables and sorted vegetables. You have to write it. Otherwise, the client won't be able to get what type of food you want that person to eat and what type of cooking method he or she should follow. Okay. Then is your encourage regular physical activity along with a good diet. Now, I want my clients to exercise because डाइट अपना काम करेगी बट एक्सरसाइज विल आल्सो प्ले अ वेरी वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट। ठीक है, किसी को वेट लॉस करना है, ही और शी नीड्स टू वर्क। ठीक है, नहीं तो वो मसल मास नहीं बनेगा। if मसल मास इज लो तो नेचुरली वो आपकी जो मसल क्वालिटी है वो डाउन कर देगा। सो इट्स बेटर टू एनकरेज देम टू वर्क आउट डेली। ठीक है, ठीक है। सो बैलेंस डाइट में हमने क्या क्या पढ़ लिया, आरडीए के बारे में पढ़ा। आरडीए क्या करता है, इट सेट द न्यूट्रिएंट रिक्वायरमेंट्स फॉर डिफरेंट ग्रुप्स। देन फूड एक्सचेंज लिस्ट के बारे में पढ़ा। द फूड एक्सचेंज लिस्ट इज इट हेल्प्स टू सब्स्टिट्यूट द फूड ऑफ टू इक्वल न्यूट्रिशनल वैल्यू, यानी कि वो आपको पोर्शंस बता रहा है कि कितना पोर्शन कंज्यूम करना है, हाउ मच अमाउंट ऑफ कैलोरी यू विल बी गेटिंग आउट ऑफ इट। देन हमने फूड पिरामिड के बारे में देखा। फूड पिरामिड बेसिकली इट विजुअली guides you about the variety of foods that need to be included in the diet and एक balanced food intake कैसे रखना है। It is done with the help of a food pyramid। ठीक है, then diet planning करते हैं। ये क्या करता है, it involves calorie balance, nutrient distribution, variety as well as sustainability। ठीक है, so आपके जो plans होने चाहिए, diet plan होना चाहिए, it should be very economical, it should be suitable to a person's cultural preferences, regional preferences, their own physiological status, their activity level, सब चीजों को वो मॉनिटर करके ही आपका प्लान प्रिपेयर होता है। ठीक है, एंड लास्ट इज जनरल गाइडलाइंस। उसमें हमने स्ट्रेस मॉडरेशन के बारे में बात की। वैरायटी होनी चाहिए आपकी डाइट में, देयर शुड बी सेफ डाइटरी प्रैक्टिसेस व्हिच नीड्स टू बी फॉलोड एंड हेल्दी हैबिट्स।